Like and subscribe. This is the Nightly Fix, powered by Foolish Club Media. Please head to our YouTube channel, Foolish Club Media. It is the same. Like and subscribe. If you do not do so, you will have to be looking like me, unable to see. Far away. I can see you, Serda. I can't really see your name written there as well. But I mean, it's all right, man. You know, I got to show your versatility. Maybe there may be one day where I have to be without my glasses and I have to be able to function.
And why haven't you gotten LASIK yet? You just don't. Yeah, I know you didn't want to forever because you take glasses. But like as you get older, you should just ride it out and go get it.
No, listen. I have been working in the old radio business for I would say 11 years, but at least like 10 years as a talent that has been offered endorsements. And hey, I'll do everything, anything. I told them I'm open to it all. Yard, grass, weight loss, weight gain, food, anything except LASIK. I feel like I am one. I like the glasses look. I look fantastic. I have a struggle with putting contacts in my eyes. That has been a failure for me. And I just feel like I'm going to be the one that they mess up. And I've also heard that they don't last forever, that it goes away at some point. You got to do it again. I just don't want nobody mess with my eyes. Can't do it. I'd rather wear my glasses.
Man, I think it takes like years and years. Like I think because you inevitably get older and your vision gets worse and whatever. So you can just get it. It would improve the short term, and you'd be good for 10 years. And
I got glasses. I got prescription sunglasses too, just to feel that. That was a problem at times for me, but I went ahead and took care of that. Yep, felt good. Yep, I've seen it, and congratulations for those who have gotten it done. I just get nervous. I feel like I'm going to be the one they mess up. So you're saying you'd be open to LASIK, or have you already gotten it?
No, I mean, I do think I need to go to the eye doctor because my vision's gotten worse as I've gotten older, but I've always had 20/20. I've never had contacts or glasses or anything.
You'll get them soon.
It is getting it's getting tough driving at night at 36 years old.
I'll trade my vision for over your sciatic issue.
I don't have that problem anymore.
I don't. It can flare up at any moment, and you and I both know it. LeBron knows it. It can flare up at any moment.
And it's gotten a lot better since I work out and take better care of myself.
Speaking of,
was a problem.
Yeah, sure. Speaking of, well, again, that could creep up to go the other way too. But speaking of the Lakers, real quick, how about it? Last night, I know it was Portland, but they win. They're 6-2 now. They win a game last night. No Luka, no LeBron, no Reeves, and they go on the road and get a dub. And Bronny James probably played like 25 minutes last night. They had some fella by the name of Nick Smith who went for 25 out of nowhere. Andre Ayton looked like the number one pick he was, getting 27 and 10. I mean, look out now. Look out now for the 6-2 Lakers, baby. Here we go. I just knocked something off the wall. Damn it. What was that?
I still know why you thought that was a good idea.
That was my photos at the photo booth. Me and the wife. First time. Now back at it. There we go, baby. Look at the light show. How about it? Proud of them guys. Yeah, good for them. Good for them. I don't know how good they're going to be, but good for them for getting a dub without any of those guys. They have looked good. They have looked better. Luka has looked smaller, and it looks all right.
I had just an awful fantasy weekend. I'm still upset about it. Got eliminated from Guillotine. Lost Tucker Craft everywhere.
Yeah. I think you probably did okay between you and Osita, although I don't remember what Puka did. I'm certain he probably
had a nice game. He did get banged up and leave the game again, but I think he had
he had a touch. He had a touchdown, 95 yards. So I think you're fine because he had Lamar, but he had Jonathan Taylor, who had his worst game
Yeah.
of the
Mahomes,
season.
Mahomes was pretty bad.
And Mahomes was bad. Now Chase didn't score. He had six for 111. But CMC had by far the best game of anybody. And I think you probably pull through. He had 2 touchdowns. He had over 100 yards rushing and I think over 60, 70 receiving. So I think you probably went up and took the lead. I'll have to tally the damn scores just to make sure. I don't know why I went in that direction of voice and tone. Something else that we don't have to tally. The trade deadline is happening. And the Dallas Cowboys made a trade. It probably is going to be it should be open season for the Bengals anyway. But they get what's it Logan Wilson. They do it after they lose last night. Shout out to Jacoby Brissett, huh? How about that guy? Wow,
he's better than Kyler. Like he's better suited for this offense, I think.
Now they're not winning worth a damn, but until last night. But I mean, he has been. I think he's got 7 total touchdowns and 1 interception in these 3 games he's played. And he's been up above 260, 270 in both games. And he had, 3 total touchdowns yesterday? He just looked good.
It was awesome last night. The Cardinals rookie first-round pick who made his NFL debut had Walter Nolan had a sack, 2 tackles for loss. Like, he was awesome. Like, he was generating pressure and looked like a problem.
He whooped that guy's. I saw the sack. He whooped that guard's ass with quickness and got to Dak. But I listen. Congratulations to Jacoby Brissett. Again, I feel like this is the best we've seen Jacoby Brissett play this 3-game stretch. I mean, I didn't know he was throwing the football like this. He wasn't like this with the Browns. He was a running back with the Patriots. This is the best I have seen him. Now, obviously, the Cowboys' defense helped. But it's not just the Cowboys defense. He played well against the Packers defense. And the week before that, I can't remember who they played, but he played well against another decent defense.
He's always had a big arm, but he's never been the best thrower of the football. And he was really bad with the Browns. So it's nice to see him just like have a bounce back type of run here, even though it seems like Kyler Murray's going to come back soon.
Oh, and John Gannon has already made the statement that Kyler Murray is going to be is the starter. Things haven't changed with that. Which I mean, I don't like. It'd be one like I don't have a problem with that. You've paid Kyler Murray, and I know Jacoby Brissett's been good, but again, besides this game against the Cowboys, they haven't been winning. Right? Kyler did win 3 games. They haven't been winning, so. I don't think that's that big of a deal. Jacoby Brissett's a backup. This is Jacoby Brissett is not about to be a late bloomer like Sam Darnold and Geno Smith. I don't think. How old is Jacoby Brissett? Like he's clearly
he's got to be well into his 30s.
Yeah, he has to be
32.
32? No, yeah. I mean, he's not making a renaissance. So I don't think he's about to be a 5-year starter here coming up. I don't think. But I do know he's earned himself a good 5 more years in this league if he wants it. He's earned himself high money as a backup if he wants it. But the Cowboys, embarrassing. They lose last night. They fumbled repeatedly and turned the ball over and still making moves. What are they, 3-5-1? Jerry's still making moves like they got a shot. Now they probably are looking at Washington stinks and the Giants stink in their division, but still, like when you look at the NFC, I think they're crazy for giving up picks. You look at the NFC, right? The damn. We know the Lions and Packers are probably going to make it. The Rams are going to make it, right? Or Seattle and the Rams feel like they're going to make it. Philly's going to make it.
Really good.
And Tampa's going to make it. And that's 6 teams, right? Seattle, LA, Green Bay, Detroit, Philly, and who else? And Tampa. That's 6 teams. So then the Panthers are ahead of the Cowboys, and they have a tiebreaker. Hell, I think the Cardinals have the same record as the Cowboys and ahead of them. Not to mention the 49ers, who are 6-3, I believe. they're not. Oh, the Bears with their win, they're 6 and something. I mean, the Cowboys. What are the Cowboys doing? I mean, and I'll be honest with you, we see this a lot, Serta, in the NBA, in basketball, and some in baseball, but in the NBA, like there are teams, right? You just never want to be in the middle. Like the Washington Wizards fit this. The Utah Jazz in a way fit this to be. I think the Atlanta Hawks almost do as well. But the Cowboys and the Cardinals, for that matter, sort of, what are they doing? What are those teams doing? I don't know. There's not a all right, man, we're gonna try to, not tank, but we're gonna try to build for the future. I don't know where either one of those teams are going, and I don't know if they know.
I think that like the Cowboys are in worse shape because Jerry is just like
Jerry.
All of this stuff with Jerry is just simply like Jerry being too hard-headed to like concede things, and that's why they always wind up in these contract disputes that are really public, and he winds up way overpaying players. Or in Micah Parsons' situation, he just trades him away, and now they have an offense that can go toe-to-toe with the best in the league, but their defense is just so bad that they can't stop anybody, and there's nothing they can do about it. So if the offense struggles at all, like it did last night, they just can't win football games because their defense can't stop anyone. And then at the trade deadline, they go trade for a linebacker because Jerry's like, maybe this will make everything.
We can do it. I still think we got a chance. That you're right. The Cowboys are really bad because I think everybody else potentially knows, like, we're not where we need to be. We've got players, but we're not anywhere close, except the owner is the one that's delusional. And it's just like, no, like the Cardinals, I can see them in a better spot, but they got the Kyler situation. They got some young parts, but I think they are contenders. But there are just certain teams. And like, even to me, at least I know the Dolphins, Serta, they are heading to a full out like change. Right? Like and that is something where you're like, all right, man, they're headed for a full out change. I get that. They're gonna have a new coach, new GM, probably a new quarterback soon. Tyreek Hill's gone. They're at a flat start. We know where they are. Like the Cowboys, I feel like they're about to be in this space for a minute, which is the worst thing you could be in sports.
Next year, like Pickens is up for a contract, so we get to deal with all of that now too, because they trade for George Pickens to try to beef up their wide receiver room, and Pickens has been pretty good. Their offense is great. But now we're just going to do all of this over again because Jerry's already paying Dak and CD, and their team's not good enough because they haven't been able to build around the defense at all, and their defense is just one of the worst in football.
Well, you made moves sort of like you're going to try to win a championship, but then with all of that, you just said Micah Parsons, nah.
Yeah, and it's like. It's because they didn't want to be like in a Bengals situation or whatever, but it's like
no, it was because Jerry's fucking hard headed and he was gonna win that battle come hell or high water.
I do think the Cardinals are in a tough situation too because
I do too.
Like I don't think Jonathan Gannon's a terrible head coach, but I don't think he can go toe to toe with like the best head coaches in football or anything like that. And then
you're not winning with him. Right, you're probably not winning with that combination.
Yeah, like we've just seen this for years now with him. Like this is like year 3 for him. They look like the same team they were on day 1, and it's
kind of frisky, but not.
They're a middling NFC team. They can go out there and like beat anybody on their best days, but can also lose to anybody on their bad days. And the talent hasn't really been like they haven't been coached up by that coaching staff to the point where like they're getting the most out of some of the talent that they have on that team. And then I don't think Kyler Murray is like that great. Like I think Kyler Murray is a fine NFL quarterback, but I think that Kyler Murray brings limitations And as long as they're handcuffed to Kyler Murray, unless they get like a better coach in there, they're just going to continue to be exactly what they are.
I'm inspired right now. And I almost want to take this in a direction that I don't think either one of us saw coming. Definitely you don't know, because obviously you don't know what's in my head right now. And I do, so I'm at an advantage. But I mean, in this conversation that we're having, I can really relate personally with these two teams of not knowing where they're going, who they are, what they need to do. I feel like that's what I am professionally right now, Serda. And I mean, it's. I feel very comfortable having this conversation with you. I don't know how many people are actually going to be watching this or listening to this. I mean, we have a decent number, but I feel like the Cardinals and the Cowboys right now, and maybe even a little worse. I don't know if I've said this out loud, Serda, and you've been with me every step of the way in this almost. I don't I don't think I know who I am or where I am in what it is that we do. Like, I feel like the Cowboys and the Cardinals. And it is crazy because, Serta, as I said, you've been there from the beginning. I've always felt like I've known where I was going. I felt like we had a building, and there was a little bit of delusion in this. We had a very talented building. And there was a point in that building at 610, and it has flourished, right? Like, we see it. We got one who's on FS1 and was in one of the biggest markets and arguably the best radio station in the country in Chicago and Parkins. Carrington Harrison is absolutely killing it and is becoming the voice of Kansas City sports, and he is cold-blooded. Dusty Likens has gotten Dusty Likens is doing mornings in Kansas City, was in that stable. You have branched out and done a lot of stuff in that stable. Cody Tapp is been in the afternoons for a while. Obviously, Bob Fesco is there. BK, me and him do a podcast here, but he is killing it in St. Louis. Like, we had a hell of a group there. And Serta, you know as well as I do, maybe delusional, but I felt like there was nobody in that building that could fucking touch me. Maybe delusional. And to me, maybe at the time. And for being that young in the business, I felt like I knew where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do, and I stood on business. And I will never forget our boss, John Hanson, saying, "This is crazy. My part-time night host guy is the person that I seem to get the most reaction from. Like, I get calls and emails sent to me about my night guy, and I believe, like, and I've talked to people, I had a pretty quick path to get to a day part. And I thought what me, you, and Vern put together, along with all the other people who helped, was exactly like, ooh, this shit is different and all that. I have no idea who I am. I think all of those people at that time, Serta, I thought nobody could touch me. I think all those people that I named have passed me up. I think all those people are better than me. That's hard for me to admit and say, but I think it is the case. I feel like, I'm not kidding, like, I am just lost as I did not know this is where this was headed, but we have this platform.
Really just dumping it all out right now.
This platform, look, and I don't know whose fault it is. It was mine, but I would say, since I left that building, since our show was taken apart, I have slowly moved away from that confidence, that knowing what I wanted to do, the vision that I had, what I wanted us to do. I know I would get on you and Vern's nerves, or you and Joe's nerves, with just certain things and the way I wanted to do it. I have no idea. Like I listened to Carrington. He is so much better than me at this point. And I'm telling you right now, and I'll tell Carrington this: there was nobody that could touch me. Like up there, I didn't think he was any. He is so much better than me. I mean, I listen to Dusty. I think Dusty is better than what I put out. I just, I don't know, man. I gotta find whatever that was before, and I do think, as I said, the time since I left that building has just, I just completely lost what I am and what I want to be. But damn, I've got to stop being the Dallas Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know how to get out of it.
I have to double check with Cody again to confirm, but I think I'm actually filling in on Thursday this
How about
week.
that? Good for
Cody
you.
from 10 to 2. And Gold is out, so he asked me a couple weeks ago if I would guest host with him for 4 hours. So I think I'm doing that on Thursday. So you can tune in if you'd like.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm probably not going to, but I hear you, man. I'm proud of you.
I was really talking to the audience. You can too, if you want.
I know. I just kind of just vented that and dumped that out, but of course,
I think, but like there's a lot that goes into this kind of career that people don't necessarily see from the outside looking in. Like a lot of it is just, people see us talking about sports and like, oh, you guys have an easy job, and like I get that it can be the most fun job you've ever had. But it's not always fun, and it's not always as easy as you think it is, because a lot of it is just navigating things and trying to and doing a lot of shit you don't want to do, honestly, and trying to make a lot of people happy that you don't give a damn about, and that can really like hinder what you actually want out of all of this, because a lot of it is, as with any career, I think, but this one especially, like media, it's like a lot of it is like politicking and catering to people that you don't care about, and trying to make people happy for reasons that simply like don't have an impact on what you're trying to do. And then it's also that like it's just not fun sometimes. Like I've been laid off from multiple jobs now after years and years of working my ass off and finally like moving on and doing that stuff. And then, and then times are hard and you're trying to figure it out. Like it's an up and down career for sure. And it's not always as fun as you think it is from the outside looking in.
Yeah. I listen, I think there's a lot to what you said, and Serda, again, I think obviously to have this conversation with you have literally been there from the jump. We've shared it a little bit on this platform or many platforms. And listen, I feel proud. We have started this, like I've tried to try to figure out and find myself. I've probably been in this space for about 4 or 5 years, trying to, all right, find who I am again, which I think was probably one of my real advantages. Is early on I had a really good sense of who I was, on the air and as a host and as a performer. And I think for me, I think, and you're hitting towards it. The more you're in this, and the higher you get in this industry, the bigger steps that you take. And then sometimes it's literally just the luck of the draw of, who is the person that is in a way kind of coaching, or the person that is making the decisions on, what it is that you're doing. And I just think within that, I think there's been so many things that I have heard and so many suggestions on or thoughts of what the sound should be like. I've just completely lost all feel and understanding of what I should be and I am. And I think I am now doing things that I would rail against that I would make fun of, things that me and you would talk about in the parking lot at 610 in Kansas City. We would stand out there, things we would talk about. I am becoming that. I am like, I think I am doing a version of somebody else. Hell, I think I'm doing it right now. Like, I don't need, like, sometimes when we do the nightly fix, as we do every night, or when we do show and BK, I feel like showing BK may be the most comfortable I am. But still, even like we do this, I have a hard time figuring out the approach of how to do this, because I think I have started to do what I think it is, or what I see people do in this, instead of what I never did the first 5 years of my career, 3, 4 years of my career, which was statements that would get me in trouble that ultimately may have gotten me fired too at some point, where I'm going to be me. I'm going to do me, and I have a vision of what it should look like, and I believe in that vision. And now I don't. I think I probably do a mix of Mike Greenberg, a mix of whoever. And I don't know, man. I gotta again, as I use that as the vessel, I gotta find my way out of the Arizona Cardinals and Dallas Cowboys feel. Like, I gotta find myself out of breaking down and knowing who I am, because the people who used to be in that parking lot at 610 Serda would laugh. Me and you would laugh at the person that I think is doing content every day. Myself, not you. The person that is doing content every day. I think we would laugh and just, God, that guy's that guy's so
I mean, I think
cutter.
Even, like, I enjoyed my time at Arrowhead Pride and covering the Chiefs, but even that too, like, compared to like what we were doing on the radio, that is not like necessarily what I ever wanted to do, but it is what the job was. Like, they didn't want me to do what I did on the radio at that job. They wanted me to stick to their style of things and their brand of things, which was fine. It wasn't always the most fun thing in the world. It certainly got like repetitive, and at times it was just kind of like, okay, do this, do that, like just report the news, like don't offer a lot of opinion or insight or like bold takes or something like that. And it doesn't always have to just be that. It's just like, it's a lot more fun when we're cutting loose and trying to be creative and trying to and doing more stuff like that, instead of just like, oh, this is the move the Chiefs made today, let's talk about that and how it impacts the roster or whatever.
I can't get myself out of doing that. I feel like I can't get myself out of that. I feel like I had a couple of, and at least, and especially with people who are in the industry that I would talk to, I had a couple of strengths, which was I could talk about what everyone was talking about and still put my unique spin or find something within what we're talking about. Yeah, we're talking about the Chiefs lost to the Bills, but in some way I could find 2 or 3 things and it came naturally to me, that would be things within that topic that nobody else viewed the way it was or talked about it the way it was. I've lost the ability to do that. And maybe I've just lost confidence. I don't know. I don't know. Do you feel like you have evolved from the moment that Show and Vern came to an end? And I know you've done a lot of things. You've done Cody and Gold. You produced that. You then moved to Arrowhead Pride, as you talked about, and you've done solo stuff, on air stuff, national stuff. Now we've started this together, and do you feel like you've evolved? Because of course I am. I feel like I've regressed. I feel like I'm CJ Stroud. I feel like I'm CJ Stroud out here.
I would say I probably feel the same way, that I've regressed in a lot of ways, but I think maybe according to like industry standard and what they're looking for is like, maybe I've just learned how to give them what they ask for, as opposed to where before I would just be like, I'm just going to do what I want to do. And you can deal with it because I'm trying to make myself better. And now I feel like it's like I move towards like I just do what they ask and I do what they give me, but I still have fun doing this stuff. And I've worked with fun people that I enjoy working with, like over the years. Like I haven't worked with, a lot of bad people that I like, just despise working with or anything like that. It's just that like it's different styles, and then it's all about the people that wind up like trying to direct you and push you in certain directions. And I think starting out, we had somebody who was really pushing us in the direction to challenge things the way that we did when we were younger. And since then, it's been a lot more of the opposite of like, just kind of do it this way and do it the safe way, to where we don't have to like worry about you.
I think you made a really good point there that I didn't know how to explain it. And the way you said it, I think not even on purpose, I've done it and not really known it. I have somehow turned from not even it went from doing what people would want or what would seem to be acceptable of how things are done, which I think is what most people do in the industry, and I thought would always separated us, but to do what it is, what the way it's quote unquote supposed to be done, and how quote unquote they would want it done, to where Serda, it has not even become a deal of I'm just doing it because that's the way they want it. It is now turned into that's just the way I do it. And that never was a thing. Hell, I wish it was yeah, man, I'm just doing this. I'm just doing this because this is their vision. No, I'm just doing it. At some point over time, it's just become all right. This is just going to be the way you do it. And man, I got to get out of that. My confidence is absolutely shot. Like I can do a radio show, a podcast. Hell, I've done it. I just signed my third contract yesterday in this, in this market in Houston. Right, have tripled the amount of money I made in Kansas City. But I have gone way, way left in terms of a host I am, how confident I am, and how good I am. Everybody in that building, as I started off this, that I did not know we were going here. And I'm not saying that you pushed me here. Hell, I guess I did. But I think every person in that building has passed me up. Now, maybe I'm being too hard on myself. I don't think so. I listened to everybody. They seem to at least have a feel and a confidence in what they're doing, and they have like it feels like to me. You know the guy Serta who's 5'7" in the in the fifth grade, and he's just tall as hell to everybody. But then once we get to high school, my man he gets to 5'10" and everybody else passes him up. But he started off just bigger than everybody. That's what I feel like I've done. I think I've done the reverse. I feel like everyone else has grown and grown and grown and found themselves. Again, I've talked to Carrington, man, about this multiple times. He has grown and found himself. Dusty has grown and found himself. I think I think Cody has always kind of known himself, but still, I've listened to him. He has grown. They've found BK has grown from sounding like little Danny Parkins to sounding like himself. And we work with him every week. He has absolutely grown. I have gone back, Serta, and I have listened to show and Vern stuff, and I've listened to the show stuff that got us to Show and Burn. I don't even know who that person is. I don't even know. I don't even know who that person is. I don't. Got to find him. I just had a full out intervention that I've called upon myself.
Little therapy session.
Apparently on a Tuesday night, a little therapy session. And sorry. I will give it a shot with this though. To get back to regular programming. Serda, you are such an arrogant son of a bitch. And you really, I have never agreed with you. You are the type of person that really pisses off people that don't like the Chiefs. And the weird thing is, you are just not normally like this. And I heard you doing it on the post-game show with Rocky. You tried to run this silliness again. But your deal that you always bring to the table of, yeah, Andy and the Chiefs and Spags, they were holding stuff back, man. They're not calling the real plays. Like they're going out there and just
We've literally seen them do that.
No. I think it is so disrespectful, and it is so in a way ridiculous that you like to think that you would even think coming in at 5-3, and now knowing where the Chiefs are, that walking into that game, that Andy Reid and Spags had something that they could have put in the game plan that would have clearly helped them win this game, which they needed, and they didn't do it. I don't even think they've done it in the past. Now, I do believe, Serda, that those guys are great coaches and that they sense and see things off the first matchup, and they have things that they react to it. But I don't think they go into the games of like, all right, man, we lose, but we're gonna hold back some stuff. No. And if they did do that in this game to get themselves to where they are right now, where it feels like for them to win the division, they've either got to go 7-1 or run the table, then shame on them. I just think it is so, because you're not alone who does this. I think it's just so disrespectful of Chiefs fans that just, man. The Bills, this is everything to the Bills and the Chiefs. I just don't believe that. I never have. We've always disagreed on that.
I just do think that we've seen that with the Bills. Like the Bills give it everything in these regular season matchups. And obviously, I think the Chiefs went into that game wanting to win. But what's frustrating about that particular performance is the Chiefs were like big play hunting throughout the game. And Buffalo said, all right, you want to get big plays? We're going to get after you. And I think that's the best game of Joey Bosa's season. Like Joey Bosa just stepped up.
That's what I'm saying, sir. If they were holding something back that would have helped Joey Bosa to dominate that game the way they did it. Shame on them for them to just allowing Pat to take those hits.
But it's part of it is Mahomes was holding onto the ball forever because they're trying to get things open downfield. Whereas like even in week 1, when the Chiefs were getting their asses kicked by the Chargers, once Worthy goes down, they kept trying to, hit the deep ball or in the first half of that game. And then in the second half, we saw them kind of revert to the slow roll, slow pace, short intermediate offense. And obviously things are different now with Rashee Rice in the mix because he has been that tremendous of a player for them. But I don't think that the Chiefs can't flip that switch and go back into that mode. Like in the second half of this game, they easily could have done that, but they kept going out there knowing Patrick Mahomes was taking hits, knowing that Buffalo's defensive line was winning their matchups and putting pressure on Mahomes. They kept sending him out there to try to go hit the deep ball and create plays downfield instead of kind of flipping the switch to, okay, let's just go on it. Let's just make sure we go on a long drive and get a score here. And I think the Chiefs have to find that balance again, where we've seen glimpses of them kind of finding both, where they can play into both. But then in this big matchup, they just got in their own heads and it was like, hey, we're just going to try to create downfield. We got to hit explosives. We got to put up points fast instead of just being like, oh, maybe we shouldn't go 3 and out. like maybe we shouldn't go 3 and out as an offense and find a way to stay on the field and go get some points.
No, I agree with all of that. And I don't believe that the Chiefs, like, oh boy, the Bills just have them. Like, no, I don't believe that is the case. And if they run into them again, I expect the game to go different. Hell, I expect a lot of it to go different because maybe Josh Simmons is there and maybe Jawan Taylor is healthy and plays the fourth quarter, and their line is maybe Trey Smith is in a better spot. I think first and foremost, that helps. And I do think there will be adjustments made. I don't think that they didn't run the football more when they were given, hey, run it at us. We'll give this to you. I don't think they didn't do that, or they didn't run screens like this team always does. And for some reason, the only screen that I can really remember is when Pat hit either Trey Smith or the other, or Bernard or Rashard Smith in the head on a screen on the second to last possession of the game. But I don't think, Serda, they didn't do those things and didn't do the things that you're talking about because, hey, we're gonna hide this game plan. Like, we're gonna hide this from them. We're gonna keep this one just in case from down the line. There ain't no just in case from down the line. I'm with you. I heard Rocky say that. I heard Rocky say that to you where you were like, where he was like, if he was holding back plays, then that is ridiculous. Is that oh my God, we haven't even talked about that big move of Ahmad Gardner going over to the I just think if Sauce just went over to that. Ahmad Gardner going over to the Colts. And that is a potential game changer for the AFC.
I mean, he's wanted out in New York, and obviously the Jets are a disaster.
Yeah, and I don't know how much Ice Spice is going to love being in Indianapolis, but the team with the best tie for the best record in football has got the best offense and has good parts. Clearly, the Colts are going for it and is smart, and they add Sauce Gardner. And to me, that is one of those game shifting moves, right? I think Sauce Gardner is still one of the best corners in football. It's hard to get going for that organization. I'll be honest, Serda, I wouldn't have thought Sauce Gardner's going for 2 first-round picks still. That one kind of surprises me a bit.
I mean, he's still really young, like he's still elite, but that does feel like it is.
I just thought teams were moving off of that. I thought teams were moving off of, hey, it's 2 first-round picks. Like, I mean, I can understand Micah Parsons going for that. And by the way, didn't they? They just signed him to an extension, didn't they? The Jets just signed into a 4-year, so at least the Colts know what the money's going to be.
The Jets are a disaster. Like, I don't think this has been great with Aaron Glenn, and just in general, like they're just not a good football team. Like they're not a well-run organization and haven't been for a long time. So it's like just trade. Yeah, he gave him a big contract. He's one of the best corners in football, and let's just move on from that. And the Colts, like, that was their biggest need, was cornerback. Like, I think their defense still has some work to do, but with Lou Anarumo, like, giving him a cornerback like that, it's going to make a huge difference for the Colts in general. So it's a huge win for them.
That's a huge, that's a huge thing.
I mean, it's a lot to give up, but that's a huge addition.
Yeah, that's a big deal, and I think it's good for the Jets too. I think it's too early to say that the Aaron Glenn thing isn't working, or won't work. I do think they need to start. They just need to start over. They're going to have a shitty draft pick, maybe the number 1 pick this year, and sort of now you add 2 first-round picks of ammo going forward. They know they're not close. All right, and Sauce is usually a cornerstone guy. But they need so much help. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Quentin Williams is out there on the market. And I know of several teams that could use a Quentin Williams up the middle. So it'd be curious to see what else is on the market. What other tradable guys they have that I guess teams would.
I mean, Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald is another young, talented pass rusher. Like, Quinnen Williams has been like, I think he's had just a disappointing season. Like, he's more talented player than what he's put.
Yeah, but I think a lot of those guys are like Sauce, though, sir. They're just in a situation where, it's multiple years and it's hard to get up.
They should probably trade Breece Hall. I mean, because I don't think they're going to give him a second contract, so they might as well just move him. They're not a team that has a lot of talent in general, but they certainly have movable pieces and things that they could get some draft capital back for. And I mean, 2 first-round picks for a corner is going to go a long way in trying to rebuild that. But
I didn't know corners were going for that.
It seems awfully high. Like, corners usually don't go for that, but also corners who are as young and talented as Sauce Gardner don't usually get traded. Teams usually hang on to those types of players.
Well, the question is, he's still very young, right? This is what, year 4? His first 2 years, man, his first time anybody has ever gone first team All-Pro as a rookie and a second-year player. And I think he'll fit that system really, really well. And they had a lot of injuries in the secondary in particular. And now for the Colts, you got to love this shit. You're like, hey, man, we're going for it. Like, we're going forward with Daniel. And I do think, sir, that when you have a Daniel Jones, despite what he has done this year, like, you have to surround him with as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And they know that they're going to have to surround him and that he's not always going to be able to just win games for them all the time, especially like, hell, he just had 5 turnovers in this last game. But you start to put them together, him in that secondary with Kenny Moore and up front with Buckner and Stewart, like they got
Marius Ward now too.
They got if he could not get knocked out. Yeah. That's he's on IR right now, but he'll get back. That's a pretty good crew they got over there. And how about that? What a big move in the AFC. I wonder if they're going to push other teams to make a move. Like, you fucking Chiefs, make a damn move.